to. Hello, this is Sunil Sunder with the Everyday Fan Sports. I'm happy to welcome in today NJIT baseball pitcher and graduate student Jared Kacso. Jared, thank you so much for taking some time out to speak with me today.
Thank you so much for inviting me, and I'm really excited for this conversation. Thank you
Yeah,
so
really
much.
appreciate it, Jared. Couple days removed from just an incredible run there, the NCAA tournament regionals in Fayetteville, Arkansas. We talked about before we came on the air. I mean, NJIT baseball is now known nationally and probably worldwide here after, winning, NCAA tournament game against Northeastern last Saturday. And, just the reception that you guys received as a team, from the Arkansas fans and also the NCAA, baseball nation. Can you just, sum up, what this run has been like, for you guys, and especially you personally?
Yeah, it's really difficult to put it into words. It's been such a crazy, crazy run. I feel like it all happened so quickly. We had a really rough start to the season. We were 3-12, and then
Yeah.
before you know it, we just turned around. We started winning a lot of baseball games, and we won the conference tournament. And we made it to probably, I would say, one of the most welcoming environments we could have ever been. Fayetteville, Arkansas is the capital of college baseball, and the fans there treated us amazing. And as a graduate senior, not knowing, coming off of a COVID season where I thought I'm gonna never play baseball again, to this environment has been unreal. It's been unbelievable, and I was really trying to soak it all in these past couple
Yeah.
days,
Yeah.
and really really just taking baseball. And I think this could not have been a better way to finish my baseball career. And I'm really thankful that we were selected for the Fayetteville Regional, and I'm thankful that this team had so much success this season.
Yeah. There is so much, to discuss, but I asked head coach Robbie McClellan, when you guys were struggling early on and you were hit by injuries as well, where was that defining moment? Where was that turning moment that you said, okay, you know what? We're going to right this ship and we're going to, said move up the ladder. Is there somewhere along the line during the season that you could pinpoint, look, you know what? I think things, Sergio, definitely, we can see the light at the end of the tunnel here, Jared.
I think there was a turning point. So we actually had a doubleheader against Binghamton, and we didn't score one run the whole day, and
Mm.
it was rock bottom. Morale could not have been any lower. But after the game, the team kind of huddled up together, and we said, "Look, like we know we have a lot of good baseball players on this team, and we know what we're capable of. We just got to take the pressure off ourselves and kind of settle in." And I think from that point on was sort of our demeanor changed as a team, and we sort of calmed down, and then we just started playing better, and we got some guys back from injury, and the rest is history. We
Yeah.
just kind of went on a run, and we got hot at the right time. We just kept stringing together great quality starts from our pitching.
Yeah.
Our closer was phenomenal the entire year, and we started getting timely hits, which is what we were missing from the
Yeah.
get-go.
Yeah.
But it all really started to change at the right time. And it's tough to put a finger exactly what changed, but I think the
Mhm.
demeanor of the team, and we just sort of knew we had to go now or it was gonna not end the way we wanted to. So
Yeah.
good thing we turned it around.
That's true. That's true. And this was not easy. A new conference in the American East. You're going from the ASUN, to the American East. And I had to ask you, much different, conference, and now travel being cut down, which I'm sure you guys are happy about. But can you just, talk about that? Being able to accomplish so much in your first year in the American East, Jared.
Yeah, it really means a lot. It was a really trying season with COVID.
Yeah.
There are a lot of COVID restrictions originally that were in place.
Yeah.
Practices were a little unique in their time slots and the setting and everything. And with the America East, rather than playing 3 games like we did in the ASUN, we actually played 4 games in two
Yeah.
days,
Yeah.
which it's really trying. And I think that had to do with some guys getting hurt. There were long days on turf fields. It was
Yeah.
hot. Sometimes the weather didn't cooperate so well. So it was a dynamic, fluid season. And to be able to come through that really shows a lot about the guys on the team, and really shows a lot about our head coach Robbie. He kept us together.
Yeah.
He kept morale high, and he always believed in us from the start. He had the utmost faith in our team, and he always told us, we got a good team. We just gotta start playing the way what we're capable of and staying within ourselves. And I think once we sort of settled in and found that groove, we were able to keep it going and build momentum.
I think Coach McClellan said that you guys came up with a phrase, I think, during the season, grit ball. I had to ask you about that.
Grip ball. Yeah,
Yeah,
we love saying how players from New Jersey have a lot of grit.
yeah,
That's just like sort of our what we've been saying from the jump.
yeah.
So we started just saying grip ball. One night we were hanging out. We play grip ball. We like to steal a lot of bases. That's sort
Yeah,
of a something our team is known for.
yeah,
We like to steal a lot of bases, play good defense, and we hit. To be fair, we hit a lot of singles, but we hit a lot of clutch home runs too.
yeah,
So we like to say, that's all part of grip ball. And it's just really grip ball really just means play hard,
yeah,
play the game the right way, and then things will go in your favor.
yeah. And you guys didn't have a home field.
No,
I
no,
mean, you talk about how, I mean, inspiring that is that you guys don't play on home field. It said
yeah,
all season long here. I mean, how challenging was that? I mean, I even asked Coach McClellan when we spoke, on the phone that, getting on that bus, heading over to, Keene University. I mean, that's not easy to do, practice and, then for games as well. I mean, just talk about that.
yeah. No, it's difficult. A lot of early morning practices, and then you come back. The bus is it's like a 25-minute bus ride
Yeah.
both ways. It's not really a great environment
Yeah.
like the bus, but once you're on the field, it's really hard because you're off campus. There's schoolwork. It's hard to balance a lot of things.
Yeah.
There's lifting, and it's just very difficult to balance because going to practice and like such lengthy practices are so time consuming. And I think it's that's grip ball though.
Yeah.
You got to
No,
keep
definitely.
going. You got to show up to the field every day,
Yeah.
and you got to get your work in no matter what. We would love to have our own field, but we're thankful that Kane University, they do have a really nice facility,
Yeah.
and their field is really nice. They just got new turf, and it plays to our strengths, and we like it. We would love our own field, obviously, in the future, but it's very difficult for guys to get extra work in as well, because
Yeah.
there's no field. We're limited to in some aspects on campus.
Hmm.
But when we do get to the field, it's important that we all stay on task and get our work done. And we understand that, having no field is not an excuse to not play well.
Yeah.
We still got to show up to practice. We still got to give it 110% every day. And that's what this team does. We have a lot of grinders and a lot of strong characters on this team.
And nothing was set in stone at the end of the season. You guys still had to work your tail off to clinch, I said a spot in the America East tournament. Can you talk about those final, couple of weeks and that, I mean, that ride, I mean, just being able to do that. I mean, of course, from pictures and videos, I mean, how emotional, I mean, just to see, the guys, streaming at the dugout, how, to celebrate that moment when you guys, clinched. I mean, can you talk about those, final couple weeks, Jared?
Yeah, yeah. So it really was insane. We had a lot of really close games, a lot of 1-run, 2-run games.
Hmm.
And they take a lot out of you. They start
Yeah.
building up. But when you win those games, they build so much momentum for the team
Yeah.
because everyone, whenever the game is close, and this is really a commitment to our closer, Jake Rappaport, who is able
Yeah.
to shut down the other team late in the game. So whenever we felt we can get a lead early in the game, we wanted to keep it so we can give him the ball. And it's so much fun when you're getting clutch hit in the seventh inning late in the game. I
Yeah.
look at our conference tournament. We had we were losing in the eighth inning against Albany.
Yeah.
We hit two insanely clutch home runs,
Yeah.
and then the next day, Luke Longo hits a walk off single for us, and
Yeah.
it's just a crazy, crazy, crazy experience. To keep having these stressful games.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
I'm not I'm a pitcher, so I'm watching.
I bet you're biting your fingernails and
Yeah, 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 yeah. And you're looking for any sort of way to get runs home and
yeah.
to play over and over 1-run games and 2-run games and win them. And it's a testament to our team's character and our effort and how well prepared we are for each game.
Yeah.
And I think we never give up on any game, no matter what. We had some big comebacks as well,
Hmm.
and it just shows how we're always in it. We're always in it.
Yeah, I think top to bottom, you talk about the pitching stuff. I mean, and of course with the offense, the guys, in the lineup, as you said, I don't think it mattered, I said where your spot was. I mean, there was a different guy, stepping up in the clutch. I mean, you talked about Luke Longo. I think even Kevin Putski, came up with, or it was Kevin Bloom, I think came up with a tremendous catch, sit in the
Yeah.
tournament, to end the game. And that's what I wanted to ask you. What made this group, especially this year's group, so special? Because I mean, you talk about the roster. I was just taking a look at it this afternoon. Guys from California, from Texas, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
from Jersey. I mean, a lot of guys from Jersey. But to see how collectively you guys came together as a group, I mean, I think that just is so remarkable, Jared.
Yeah, I think you said it perfectly. You never know who's going to get the big hit,
Yeah,
but you knew somebody was going to do it.
yeah,
So I think it shows how close of a team we were. I always say, like, this is one of the closest teams I've ever been on. We have a great group of people,
yeah,
and you mentioned where a lot of the team my teammates were from, and no matter where they're from, they bought into the program. They bought into NJIT baseball, and when you play for the guy that's standing next to you, and you're not selfish,
mhm,
and you really just buy in, and you do everything you can to get a win, do everything you can as a hitter to get on base, as a pitcher to get the guy out.
yeah,
That stuff starts to build up and translate. And the culture that was built in this program, I think it really shows you how we're getting good people into the program, and when they're here, they're doing everything they can. Even the guys who aren't playing, they're cheering on the top
yeah,
of the step, at top step. They're warming up players. They're
mhm,
doing everything that they can for the team, and it's really a team atmosphere, and that's a separator. When you have a lot of guys who can sort of buy in, and you root as hard for the next guy as you do the
yeah.
guy before him. It's something special, and that's what this team had this year.
No, I agree. Hey, I know it was a strange ending to the tournament. I mean, it's just I don't think we're gonna. I, I don't know we'll see it ever again. But you guys were able to celebrate. I mean, the way it started out on Saturday and then ended up on Sunday morning / afternoon. But I had to ask you that moment. You guys found out that you were America East tournament champions. I mean, and clinch that NCAA, automatic berth. I mean, just what that moment was like. I mean, we saw it on video, but I had to ask you,
Yeah.
for you up close and personal, what that moment, was for you, Jared.
I think at first there was sort of like an element of shock, like
Yeah.
like what's going on? And then once it was really explained to everyone
Yeah.
why what happened,
Yeah.
and then I think that sort of set in that we were going to a regional.
I know.
That's
Yeah.
why you play this game,
Yeah.
play college baseball, is to go to the regional and play
Yeah.
these important games. And we're all competitors. We all wanted to play. We were there, ready to go.
Yeah.
But the weather didn't cooperate. But once we knew we were going to a regional, like we were pumped. We were
Yeah.
pumped. And the regional is what everyone wants to do. Everyone wants to play, and we accomplished that. And it was the first regional win of NJIT baseball
Yeah.
history, and
Yeah.
it's really awesome that I got to be a part of it. And I think everyone in that moment, we were just pumped that we were going. We were still
Yeah.
playing ball. You know.
Talk about selection day, and then of course I want to ask you about leading up to that first game against Arkansas.
Yeah.
You guys flew down to Fayetteville a couple of days beforehand, and getting to practice on the field, and just probably walk around and experience. I mean, I'm sure with the ASUN you got to experience traveling to other states, but just the lead up to that first game. Can you just dive into that, Jared?
Of course, yeah. So selection Monday.
Yeah.
The show we were all in like a theater watching the selection show,
Mhm.
and I don't think that we were the worst team of the four seeds. I think
Yeah.
we had a pretty decent RPI, and we didn't really expect our name to go
Yeah.
for Arkansas.
Yeah.
So I remember saying to one of my friends, Kevin Blum, I said, there's no way that this is us, right? We can't be playing the number one team in the country.
Yeah.
And he goes, I don't know, man. And then sure enough, like right away, first name off the board, NJIT. So that then another element of shock, like, oh my
Yeah.
God, I
Yeah.
can't believe this is happening.
No.
And then there was a little bit of foreshadowing going on during the week. People were starting to tweet from Arkansas.
Yeah.
They were saying, welcome to Fayetteville.
Yeah.
We're excited to have you guys. We can't wait to watch you play. And then that's sort of when the monsoon of nice things came.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Arkansas fan base sort of adopted us as were saying, and they just basically they started really caring about our baseball team and had nothing but great things to say about us. Like, welcome, we can't wait to see you guys. And after we played Arkansas, then everyone started saying like how great we were. You know, I just can't say enough great things about the fan base.
Yeah.
You know, the Arkansas, the people of Fayetteville, they're just awesome people, and they really made us feel at home, and they really treat us with such respect and class.
Yeah. I mean, you think of what you guys were able to do initially in that game. I mean, Albert Troy hits the leadoff home
Yeah.
run, and the dugout goes absolutely bonkers. And then you take that 3-0 lead. I mean, what was that? You know, you're sitting there in the dugout, and you're like, here we are, as you said, playing the number one team, overall seed, number one team in the nation. 11,000 fans. You go from no fans, I said during your home games during the season to here in front of 11,000. I mean, but it didn't phase you guys at all. I mean, you guys were very comfortable in your own in this setting. I had to ask you, what was that moment for you, like in the dugout with the rest of the guys?
Oh, it was electric. It was especially Albert's home run.
Yeah.
Albert's home run was really electric. And at the end of the day, we're just playing baseball in front of no fans, in front of 1,100 fans. It's still the game of baseball. And once you're out on the field, I think the pregame jitters it gets a little hairy. But once you're out on the field, you're playing the game. It's the same game, no matter who you're playing. They got to warm up just like we do. They got to get hits, and we wanted to make them earn it. That's for sure. They were going to beat us. We wanted to make them earn it. So we played our hardest. And we wound up getting out to an early lead, and we were ready to go. We've been waiting. We've been working for this opportunity, and we earned it this year. And I'm really happy with the way the guys played. And it was a surreal experience. It really was.
I think that game was a statement game, even though you lost it. And I enjoyed writing about that game because the resiliency of of the team, not to give up. You fall behind 10-3, but you end up losing 13-8. But you guys were right in that game, had some opportunities even to inch up closer and cut the gap even further. But the fact is, I think really that game, put NJIT, really, I said, I think I firmly believe on the national map, and said we would talk about even worldwide, Jared.
Yeah, like you said, we really were like a couple hits away.
Yeah.
We left a lot of runners on base, which it was unfortunate, but that's the game of baseball. But I think that like we were talking about before, this kind of goes back to grip ball.
Yeah.
We're not just gonna roll over because the game was 10-3 or whatever the score was. We're gonna keep playing till the last out.
Yeah.
So we loaded up the bases a couple times, got some timely hits, but we just couldn't cash in on that huge one.
Yeah.
But that's baseball, and we're gonna keep playing no matter what. And even when I'm gone, I know the guys are gonna keep playing. No one's ever gonna give up, and no matter what the score is, that doesn't dictate the way that you play. You can always hustle no matter what. You could always play with grit. You could always try your hardest, and that's sort of what NJIT baseball is all about. Like, we're never gonna go away. And this game is a perfect example of it.
Yeah. All right, let's fast forward to Saturday against Northeastern. A tight, game there. I said, but you guys are able to jump out to a lead, and then it gets a little dicey, said in the later innings. But you guys are able to hold on for the win. I'm wondering, as the innings, progressed, and you get towards, that 8th, 9th inning, especially let's go to the 9th inning, what just to walk me through it, what the dugout is, experiencing. And, when Jake, said, retires the sayonara, said a spotless inning, especially that final out. Just again, describe it, Jake.
Well, there was actually the key strikeout that Jake had in the 8th inning.
Yeah.
And he comes off the mound. He gives us a nice let's go. And our fans started going a little crazy. We had some Arkansas fans there too. So I think that really pumped up the dugout. It was a close game. It was a very quick moving game.
Yes.
And we had a great start from Ryan Fisher.
Mm-hmm.
Jake comes in whenever Jake has the ball. We feel great.
Yeah.
And he comes off. He sparks up the bench. And then the 9th inning, we were all locked in on every pitch, ready to go. That was a big moment for us because we wanted to prove, we hung with Arkansas, but we wanted to win a game.
Yeah.
Northeastern was a very good baseball team.
Hmm.
They had a very successful season. They had some really good ball players,
Yeah.
specifically really good pitchers. So we were really pumped in. We were really locked in the dugout. A little tense on every play.
Yeah.
And when the ball goes in the air, you hold your breath a little bit every time. But
Yeah.
we were pumped. We couldn't feel more comfortable with Jake on the mound. So we were ecstatic. And once that last out got recorded, I think it was a little sigh of relief from
Yeah.
everybody. And we were all pumped up, and we went out, had a great dinner,
Yeah.
had a great barbecue, Southern barbecue dinner. So
No, definitely. Yeah, I think Ryan, said, I think a sophomore. I mean, for him to go out there and spin one of the one of the best said performances of the season. There in a very said competitive and said stressful need
yeah,
atmosphere. I mean, that you talk double elimination. It's like and the season is on the line, and for him to come up, said huge like that was just again, was fabulous.
yeah, he has made tremendous leaps and bounds this year. He's an excellent pitcher. He's one of the people that you say, they have a slow heartbeat. He's not really phased by
Yeah,
much. And whenever he has the ball, you can almost pencil him in for 7 quality innings.
yeah,
He's such a great pitcher, and he's going to be really, really, really good in the future. And he's going to be a name to watch out for. So
yeah.
he's taught me a lot as a pitcher, how to handle yourself. And I'm really, really excited to watch him perform these next couple of years. He's going to become a great leader on the team, and guys follow him.
Yeah.
So when he was getting to start game 2 no matter what, and the team was always comfortable when he's on the mound. He can't say enough great things about Ryan.
Yeah.
And he's a big game pitcher. He's had
No,
so many big starts for us, and without him we don't get to where we are.
I was thinking back to the America East tournament now is that you receive, I mean, the pitching staff was unbelievable, especially the starters. I mean, even the relievers, going deep into, so they could save the bullpen, that was, I think, key in the
Exactly.
tournament as well. Uh, I know Sunday was tough. I mean, you never want a season to end on that note. But the fact is, again, guys kept battling that day. But I think again, you could see from the crowd, the respect level, and I know it was a very emotional day. Like especially as some of the starters came out,
Yeah.
with Jake and instead with a couple other guys there. I think me and the Marcano brothers. I mean, can you just talk about? That day ending, but the fact is, I'm sure a lot to be proud of, what you were able to do in the 2021 season, Jared.
Yeah, it really stinks that we lost that
Yeah.
game. We would have liked to beat a really good team in Nebraska.
Yeah.
But I think that it was kind of not a good way to end it, but it was a peaceful way to end the game.
Yeah.
It wasn't really stressful towards the end,
Yeah.
and it gave our guys a chance to get like a nice standing ovation from the fans,
Yeah.
which I think was really great. But I think it was really emotional for me personally. Um, I have so many great friends on this team,
Yeah.
and I love playing under Robbie. And it's really tough when there's change and things end. But I'm happy that I went out. I came back to go out with the guys in my class,
Yeah.
Tyler and Matt, and we picked up Kevin Blum this year, who has been nothing but tremendous.
Yeah.
And it's sad, it's sad that we don't get to play anymore. But at the end of the day, these guys are my friends for life. So it was a short, sad stint, but we quickly turned it around because we're going to see each other all the time. We're going to always
Yeah.
be around each other. We're always going to be talking. And my catcher, my roommate Paul Franzoni, he's called me 35 times or something, like almost all of my starts.
Yeah.
And it's emotional that we're not going to be a battery anymore. But you know, specifically him and everyone else, we're all going to be friends for life. And we're tremendously grateful that we got this opportunity to play with each other
Yeah.
and do something really special. So it's at the very end, once that last out is recorded, there's definitely some tears. But as time goes on, we all know that we're all going to be around each other quite a bit, and we're really happy that we got to experience this.
Well, you guys didn't leave Sunday night. You were celebrities, down there in the hog pen, and people. That was just like to see all the videos. That was really cool. And even the pictures, exchanging
Yeah,
shirts, and that was really nice to see. That
yeah,
again, you talked about the Southern hospitality, instead of, down there in Fayetteville. That was really cool to see, Jared.
Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, they're offering us food, offering us they want to give us SEC baseballs. It's really awesome. I never really knew that a place like that would exist, and like such a great, like a nice place with,
Yeah.
well, first of all, the city of Fayetteville is beautiful.
Yeah.
And then to have such a beautiful stadium with just such a dedicated fan base. They just love baseball in Arkansas. They love baseball, and they treat us with such great respect. And they started some NJIT chants and some jersey swaps, and we got a security escort all the way down to the front row.
Oh wow,
So
that's
yeah,
yeah,
you just can't beat it.
yeah,
You can't
yeah,
beat it. And they showed us on the big screen. They were calling the hogs, doing the chants.
yeah,
You really just can't beat it. And it's really hard to describe like how awesome it was.
yeah.
And it was such a unique experience. Like everyone loved it, and everyone had such tremendous things to say about the people of Arkansas. I've never given so many knuckle touches to people in my life. Just congratulating us, telling
Yeah,
us great job, great season, and I'm happy that they get to have a winning ball club because those fans deserve it. They
yeah,
deserve to have a good team that they can root for.
yeah. No, definitely. How was that ride home? I said back to Jersey. I had to ask you about that quickly. I have a couple more, and I can't thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. No, it was interesting. We got a charter flight, so that was cool.
Okay.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. It's fun. Travel days are long, but they're fun
Yeah,
because you get to hang out with everybody and be around each other. It was a little bittersweet knowing what was coming to an end, but
yeah,
the flight was pretty cool, and getting to be around everyone and take it all in is
yeah,
always just a good time.
yeah. No, definitely. How for you personally, the 2021 season? I had to ask you as a pitcher, and you elaborated on working with Paul Franzoni. And that was really great to see Paul. Saying last at bat of his the season, being able to hit a home run. Said there, I think in the eighth inning. But talk about your season personally. What how you felt. I said you did, and just again working with I said Paul as well. I know that I think Luke also caught I said behind the plate as well. But just talk about that.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, going into the season, I didn't really know if I was going to play after my COVID year, just
Hmm.
because it wasn't in the plan for me.
Yeah.
I finished my undergraduate degree. I wound up I had an injury last my senior season to my labrum,
Okay.
and COVID allowed me to get surgery and get healthy. And
Mm.
then they also gave me my scholarship, and they let me come back, and I found the master's program. Me and Paul, we've been friends. We've lived together 2 years now. I didn't really have a place to live going into the senior season, and he brought me in. Me and him, we live in a little 120 square foot apartment,
Yeah.
120 square foot apartment, two beds, half the size of our old dorm room. But I really wouldn't want to be with him anybody else. He's
Yeah.
one of my closest friends, and the pitcher catcher relationship. I think in my 5 years here, I might have shaken him off pitches like 3 times maximum,
Yeah.
and, 2 of them were home runs, but I might have shaken him off 3 times 'cause I just have such trust in him,
Yeah.
and, my numbers this year, they were okay, they weren't
Yeah.
great, but the stat that I love the most is my last 5 starts down the stretch, we won all those games.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm really proud of, and I'm proud of the team. I think that's something that I like to think of whenever I'm on the mound. I'd like to think our lineup has confidence that we're going to win the game, and they score some extra runs for me. So I'm happy. I'm happy about that. Yeah. So that's what I like to reflect on the most.
Yeah.
And my counterpart Tyler Stafflinger, we've been doing this forever. We have almost 500 combined innings, and Paul catches the both of us, and I think that there's no other 2 people that I would love to be going through this experience with, and I'm just grateful that they sort of came into my life, and they've taught me a lot, and they're great people, tremendous people, and they're going to do great things in their life, and
Yeah.
it's been a blessing. It's been a blessing, really.
I was looking at the stats, and I'm trying to figure out, pinpoint a couple, games. I think that May 22nd game against UMBC, and then uh, I don't know, it was against Albany on March 21st, seven
Yeah,
innings. I think those two games, when I look, really stand out. I said this season.
Yeah, they were
Yeah,
those 2 starts,
yeah,
it's really easy. I don't strike out a lot of guys.
yeah,
So when I'm throwing strikes and, I trust our defense more than anything in the world. I just let the defense work.
yeah,
I hit them to our guys. They're gonna play catch
yeah.
before every inning. And our third baseman, Jared Donnelly, who's one of my close friends as well.
Hmm.
I always say, "You're getting 3 ground balls this inning." I'm gonna let him hit it to you, man. Just catch the ball and throw it.
Yeah.
And I'm just thankful that our team plays such great defense because
Yeah,
what as a pitcher, it makes your job really easy when they can catch it.
yeah,
And that's all that I trust them the most. And those 2 starts specifically was things were really working for the defense and for
yeah,
me. And just weak contact. And then, though I'll really remember that UMBC start a lot because
yeah.
that was our senior day
Okay,
and my
yeah.
family was there for the first time all season. So
Oh,
it was
very
it,
nice.
it was really special. It was
Yeah,
really special.
yeah. No, that's great. Uh, when think about where you first came, to NJIT, I think back in 2017. I mean, could you ever imagine, from and maybe you want to talk about that first year, and now, and then overcoming again, said the labor injury, and here being able to finish out on this high note. Could I mean just I had to ask you, just what those emotions are, going through, Jared.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When I reflect back on my freshman year,
yeah,
we only had 9 wins. We were ridden with injuries.
yeah,
We had so many injuries, and it kind of put guys in roles that they didn't expect.
yeah,
And as a freshman, I wasn't playing a whole lot, but towards the end of the year, I started getting a lot of innings. And I think that those innings and those seniors on that team and the upperclassmen,
hmm,
that's what really taught me how to pitch, how to be a baseball player, and just really how to model myself. Those guys have been great role models.
yeah,
And I always knew that we had good players through NJIT.
hmm,
We were just missing that sort of the perfect storm at the right
yeah,
time. My second year here, we made the ASUN tournament. We had a really good season,
hmm,
and we always had great players. I mean, we had a couple all conference players when I was a
yeah,
sophomore, and we always had good players. And this season, I think that we added some pieces, and it was a
yeah,
good mix of veteran leadership and young talent.
yeah,
And I think that was a perfect storm of a team. And I'm really proud of what this program has become. And I speak to some of the alumni. They're all really close friends. We're all
yeah.
we're all in contact all the time, and they're proud. And I think that they all know that they had just as much of a part in changing the culture of the program as I did and as other
Yeah.
players did.
I mean,
Because
this team is built for next season. You really look at there are quite a few people coming back. Then you take in and start the incoming freshmen coming in. I mean, and again, the outstanding job of recruiting. Said not only here locally within New Jersey, but then state. Across the country. Uh, it's again a great mix. I know you talked about head coach Robbie McClellan, but the job him and the rest of the coaching staff has done here, I mean, in a short amount of time, when you really think
yeah,
about it, I think again they deserve so much credit. Can you just talk about what are some of the intangibles that head coach Robbie McClellan brings to the table, Jared?
well, Robbie has been tremendous to me. He's treated me so great over my career here, and the biggest thing that Robbie does for the program is how much he cares. He bleeds NJIT baseball.
Yeah,
He's a baseball guy. He loves NJIT baseball, and he's so personable. He
yeah,
he tells you like it is. He tells you what he expects of you, and he has faith that you're gonna be a good ball player and you're gonna perform well. So when Robbie says something, like, he really means it. He's as genuine as it gets. And he really, really, really loves NJIT baseball, and he really cares. He'll give you the shirt off his back.
yeah.
He's just a tremendous leader, tremendous role model, and he's really a player's coach is a good way to describe him.
Hmm.
He lets the players play. He tells you what he expects, and he keeps it simple, and he really places a lot of faith in us, a lot of faith. And he has our back, and we know that, and we have his back, and that sort of mutual connection is important
Yeah.
as a head coach.
No, definitely. Uh, just have a couple more. You can. I mean, you need a solid athletic department administration. Yeah, you had. I mean, you talk about athletic director Lenny Kaplan and the rest of the staff. Again, it just amazing what they've been able to do. Can you just talk about that support system? It's so
Yeah,
critical, Jared.
very critical, very
Yeah,
critical. We have great academic advisors as well.
yeah,
Things get tough sometimes academically. They're
yeah,
always there to help. Lenny's been awesome. He really supports the team whenever he can, and we just even sometimes people who aren't directly involved. Like, I've been very close with Sean Morrison of NJIT Athletics. He's
mhm,
been awesome to me. He's treated me as great as I could have ever imagined, and even after baseball, they're still reaching out to me and helping me find a job, find the next chapter of my life, and
mhm.
that's why there's such a strong alumni base here at NJIT because everyone is so involved. Our SID Miles, who runs
Yeah,
our Twitter, runs our social media. He's been tremendous. I mean, we've gained so many followers in the
yeah,
past month or so. It's really remarkable
yeah.
getting our name out there, and I can't say enough about how great our support system is at NJIT. And everyone really wants to see us do well, and they give us the necessary tools. Maybe we can get a field in the next few.
I was just about to say that we need to have that home field. I mean, can you imagine that? Having that home field advantage. I don't know where they'll build it, but build it somewhere.
Build it
Because
somewhere.
oh my God, it will be off the charts. It'll be off the hook. With that, I can only imagine. You'll draw from here, from New Jersey. From
Yeah.
Bergen, Hudson County, elsewhere, and then the city is right across the river. I mean, I can. I just that would be.
Yeah, and we
Yeah,
we used to play at Newark Bears, which was
yeah,
it was
yep,
that was a tremendous place to play. It
yeah,
had that Newark flavor, that
yes,
gritty flavor.
yeah.
And the skyline of New York City was in the
I
back,
know.
and it was really a beautiful field.
Yeah.
And if we could get something, maybe we could just pick up Kane and put it right in Newark.
I know,
slap
right?
slap some NJIT logos on there, and you got a pretty nice field.
Yeah, that's right. I had to ask you, you're an applied mathematics major. I'm wondering how that applies to pitching.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
pick anything out of that, Jared?
When it makes pitching a lot easier, you're
Yeah,
just doing a lot of math
yeah,
problems. Pitching is the easy part.
yeah,
It makes it sort of a nice outlet from
yeah,
school, and I think a lot of players on the team can say similar things. We have
yeah.
a lot of engineers, and engineering is not easy. So baseball is that outlet for everyone.
It's just a true credit and testament to you guys because you talk about NGIT is known for academics, and to see now athletics, see that mesh, perfect combination, is just. I mean, that's super. I mean, that's special, to see that. I had to ask you about that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think that just really speaks to how hardworking our team is. There's constantly, there's final exams, there's midterm
Yeah,
exams all throughout the semester,
yeah,
and guys, they just work through it. They
yeah,
work through it, and they're diligent in their studies. We have a really high team GPA, and it's just how that's sort of the culture of the team.
yeah,
That's the culture of the team, and that's how it is. There's a lot of late nights of homework, a lot of
hmm,
early mornings of classes and things of that nature, but to persevere through that and have a high GPA,
yeah,
I don't really remember anyone not graduating. Everyone really graduates on time.
hmm,
And we've had so many people in their masters. It speaks to the diligent nature of all of my teammates. And Robbie really creates that environment. He cares about your grades.
hmm,
If you have a test coming up or you have something, he'll work with you with practice times, and that really reflects. Our academic advisor Sandra was mine. She was amazing. Sandra Taylor, she was amazing.
hmm.
It's really a great support that we have, and specifically my math department was very flexible. They were working. They were really great.
Yeah,
Everything was structured well, and they set you up for success.
yeah.
It's a great environment.
Yeah, it's not easy balancing out both academics and athletics. I mean, again, you talked about the grueling schedule, talk about practice time, games, and then, said hitting the books and, to see across the board, with NJIT athletics, again, the GPA, is being so high and then, going on to have successful careers is just, again, terrific. I just have a couple more. I'm sure you want to pay homage, of course, to Barnegat High School. You're down Jersey Shore. It said my folks have a place in LBI, so I'm so happy to be talking to someone from Ocean County. So
Yeah.
you were able to earn a bunch of accolades. Said at Barnegat High School, win a championship down there. I think said lead Barnegat in batting in 2015, 2016, and most career walks and stolen bases. And that's what I want to ask you before is that, making that transition. You were at what play? You even played third base at NJIT and then going on to be a pitcher. But, talk about Barnegat High School.
Yeah, Barnegat High School has a great baseball program. They just
Yeah.
won B South again this year. They shout out to those guys. Barnegat has loved baseball. Coach Dan McCoy, he runs a great program.
Yeah.
Me and him talk all the time. He was a great mentor to me. And I pitched quite a bit at Barnegat.
Okay.
So when I went to NJIT, there were a lot of injuries to the pitching staff.
Yeah.
So it was sort of an easy transition. I've already pitched quite a bit at Barnegat High School.
Yeah.
Coach McCoy helped me so much in making some good pitches, like my changeup. He really helped me with my changeup. So
yeah,
he's been a real role model to me, and we actually helped out, me and my one of my good friends, John Corbett, one of my ex teammates.
Mhm.
We were coaching the tournament that they went on this summer during COVID, the Barnegat team.
Okay.
So that was pretty much all of the high school players, and it was a great experience, and I wouldn't trade Barnegat High School for the world. I loved every minute of it.
Yeah.
And we have some hardware, some championships to prove it.
Yeah.
And there's a great culture at that baseball program, and they're going to do some great things, and they're going to keep winning. They're going to keep winning, and I'm going to keep going to the games.
Hey, to see all your hard work pay off there, and of course at NJIT, I'm sure those are special moments. I had to ask you, growing up, what sports you play, and then when it comes to the game of baseball, what makes it so unique and special for you, Jared?
Yeah, I don't know. The thing about baseball is that every game is so unique.
Yeah.
It's such a unique game, and it really, of course, it takes a great level of physical ability, but
Yeah.
there's such a mental side to the game that is
Mhm.
so key and so crucial. And I think that's what a lot of fans love about baseball, is that you have to think through every sort of play, every situation, and you got to find a way to get the job done. And I'm a Yankee fan, so there's a lot of thinking and craziness that goes on with being a Yankee fan.
Yeah.
So that I think is a separator. It takes an intelligent person to be a good baseball player, and I really, really love thinking about baseball, thinking of different ways to be successful.
Yeah.
And hopefully I was able to spread a little bit of that onto my younger teammates. That's what's a separator. Everyone at the Division I level, or even good high school teams, everyone is a good physical athlete. They're strong, big, but the separator, that's what makes you so good, is the mental game.
Yeah.
And how well you can handle showing up to the field each day, how well you could think through the situation of whatever it may be. That's what makes a good player. That's what makes a good team. So that's what fell in love with baseball. My father introduced me to the game. He's been such a role model to me, and I can't even describe it. It's very important to translate a strong, sound mental game to baseball.
Yeah. You were answering a couple of my final questions, because I was going to ask you about support from family, and then of course your advice. I said for younger kids, and for even the younger people on the team, freshmen and sophomores, the underclassmen. But yeah, I just, if you wanted to, you talked about your dad. You want to talk about your mom, other family members as well, because I'm sure said that really. Especially when you were dealing with that
Yeah.
injury, and then other moments that really you needed that, support system from them.
Yeah, me and my dad have been we've been traveling all over the world. My mom couldn't always make the trip because my sister, she's a little bit younger than me.
Mhm.
But my dad, me and my dad have been traveling all over the world playing baseball since I don't even know. We went to Cooperstown, we went to Georgia, we did everything that we could have done. It was really, he's been just my rock. We always talk about baseball, and he's just been such a role model and inspiration to me. And my mom, she's as much of a mother as it gets.
Yeah.
She loves me. She always tells me how great I'm doing. She's always there for my support, especially in college when you're living on your own.
Yeah.
That's when you need your mother more than ever
Yeah.
to help you out.
That's what I
So
was going to ask you, what made NJIT the perfect fit? I mean, coming, from Southern, New Jersey, from Ocean County, then up north, here. I mean, I had to ask you about that.
yeah, so the first thing I was looking for was a good baseball team, of course, but academics was always like at the forefront of my college search, and there were a couple other schools that I was looking at, but I think the right baseball fit in conjunction with the academic side of it,
Mhm.
that was like my most important thing. So NJIT, I mean, like you said earlier, they have a great reputation for education, and I wanted to be at a place where that would be possible, to have a great education while also playing really competitive baseball. Because when I was a freshman, they were in the Atlantic Sun is a very, very difficult baseball program,
Yeah.
baseball conference.
Yeah.
So that was like the perfect fit for me,
That's great.
and it was in state, close to my family.
Yeah, that's true. Not that far of, when you think about it, I said you just hop on the parkway and that's it.
It's an easy
Uh,
drive, yeah.
exactly. You probably answer this, and probably the final question, what your advice is, for younger kids, because, there are a lot of pressures, these
There,
days, that. I
there
mean,
are
social media, there's, again, scholarships. And I mean, there's so much on the table when it comes to, kids, again, and, selecting, said baseball to play. Just wondering what your advice is for those younger kids that aspire to be, Jared, Kacso, one day. I'm just
Yeah,
wondering.
I think the best advice that I can give to
Yeah.
to any aspiring baseball player is
Yeah.
just to always play like your game.
Yeah.
There's, like you said, there's so much pressure now. There's
Yeah.
so many showcases,
Yeah.
big tournaments, college coaches that always watching you,
Yeah.
but you can never deviate from who you are as an athlete. You can never deviate from who you are as a player, as a person. And the best advice that I can give is that if you play hard, you play the game the right way, the colleges will find you.
Yeah.
That stuff will find you no matter where you are. You don't have to pay all this money to go play at a tournament or a showcase. If you play the game the right way and you play hard, that stuff's gonna find you, and good things will happen.
Yeah.
There's a right fit for everybody. There's always gonna be a good spot. Someone's always gonna want you. So you have to just stay true to yourself, and don't try to stay within yourself. That's what my coaches always told me.
Yeah.
You know who you are as a player. You can't try to do too much. Just stay within yourself, and lean on your teammates, lean on your parents as a support staff, lean on your coaches, because you can't do it alone. And if you keep working hard, keep sticking to your craft, good things will happen. Good things will happen. And when you get to college, you have to buy into the program.
Yeah.
You have to know where you are. You have to try hard and earn the respect, per se, because you want to be the guy. Everyone wants to be the guy, but
Mhm.
if you can look for ways to contribute to the team in any way possible, people really respect that.
Yeah.
And as a senior, I really look to our freshmen on NJIT as a perfect example. They do everything the right way, and when they get put in the game, they make the most of their opportunities. They're a tremendous group of freshmen. I can't say
Mhm.
enough great things, and they're all going to do really, really well and have really, really long careers. And I'm really proud to have been a senior when they were here.
I mean, you couldn't ask for a better experience and a better. I mean, these guys now have that, in their suitcase now, and they can apply that, and of course pass that knowledge down. I'm sure for you, this year was like a full circle moment for you, being able to do that, to serve in that leadership role, for these freshmen.
Oh, absolutely. It was definitely sort of a full circle, like you said. But the thing is that with the freshmen, I always try to treat them with respect and make them feel like they're a part of the team.
Yeah.
It's difficult when you're a freshman. Sometimes you're behind a senior, and especially our team, we have a lot of good players. So sometimes you're stuck behind a player, but you have to stick to your script. Like I said, you have to keep working hard, keep sticking to your thing, because next year when that player graduates or he moves on, you're gonna have to play. And there's no shame in not playing as a freshman every game. I think I looked at one of our relief pitchers, Croy Jenkins.
Yeah.
He might have pitched around 30 innings, 25 innings. It wasn't the most on the team, but whenever he got put in the game, he really performed well. He wasn't afraid, and you have to sort of accept your role as a younger player because as you grow older, your expectations are going to increase.
Yeah.
And he was a perfect example when next year he's going to be the guy. He's going to have to double his innings, I would think. So he's going to have those guys, and even the guys who pitch less, they're going to all be leaned on heavily because now they're the guys with experience.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting high things of them. They're all very talented players, all the talent in the world. Now the next step for them is just to fill in the shoes that everyone thinks that they can do. Fill in those shoes. And I know that they will. They're great. I can't say enough great things. They're tremendous people, and they have a lot of good things coming their way. And NJIT baseball program for the next few years with those freshmen at the helm is going to be a scary program. They're going to be pretty good.
No, I agree 100% with you. So what does the future hold for Jared Kacso?
Well, that remains.
You make a great coach, Jared.
I don't know if I'm going to be coaching anytime. I definitely want to take a break from baseball.
Yeah.
I'm going to hopefully leverage my master's degree and land a good job. That's sort of my next step. But everything happened so quickly. I'm going to take a week or two off and go from there. We'll see.
All right, Jared. The floor is yours. I don't want to. I want to leave you with the last word because I don't want. It's been a absolutely true honor and privilege. Interviewing you. You're a class act, so I want to give you the floor here.
Thank you so much. I just can't thank NJIT baseball. Coach Robbie enough and my teammates, and really thank you so much. Without your hard work and coverage for our team, we wouldn't be getting so much notoriety at this time. So I really can't thank you enough for having me on. And I read all the articles and everything that you've written, and it's really been awesome to have great coverage. And I can't thank you enough for that.
Hey, you represented New Jersey proudly. I said that to, Coach McClellan, the rest of the team, that to see, again, we talked about before we came on the air, NJIT baseball, you talked about Rowan and Ryder, just to see the Garden State, I said New Jersey, I said again in a positive light, and to see, baseball here on the map, nationally is just, again, phenomenal. Just, as we said, the next, several years, whatever it is, New Jersey is going to be a contender here, with college baseball.
Absolutely. There's a lot of great baseball players here, and it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better.
Thank you, Jared.
Thank you so much.
All the best.
Thank you.